Walmart Super here. We have another video, vlog number 11. Okay, we're going to talk about doing hard stuff. And like I said in every single one of these videos, if I'm making these videos, it's because I've experienced that. I'll never make a video that I haven't not have no experience about. Um, and I have experience doing hard stuff because of the fact that I've worked late night shifts for 12 hours. I've worked late night shifts working at factories. And there's times where I've worked maybe for a short amount of time, 3 jobs or 2 jobs. So here's my big example to you guys, and hopefully you guys can shine some light on this. Throughout my time of hardships, I've had pretty bad cars, and I've had pretty bad jobs also. Poor management that can be in, poor customers, and I think everybody probably goes through this, but I think my story is slightly special. Um, when I used to work at McDonald's, I realized that it was a different type of level of stress because of the fact that not only are you exposing yourself to different types of customers, you're also exposing yourself to new stories. Like there's times where I've been at McDonald's and customers will tell me stories that I probably wouldn't have heard working at another job, just because you have that one-on-one customer conversation with, and just because of the fact that life is so unique. You know, you'll never meet the same person or the same stranger that gives you that type of solid advice twice, especially when you're working for something like McDonald's. Maybe they might come frequently, but they might not tell you the story twice. Um, McDonald's for me was hard. McDonald's for me, at first, I felt spoiled because the jobs that I used to have at, let's say, for Advanced Auto Parts or at Toyota, these jobs were very ease. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's always having somebody having my back. Rather than McDonald's, you only have your own back most of the time because you're dealing with one-on-one customers. It's fast food. Stuff has to get done in a quickly manner. Um, I think that's the point of fast food, but that's not the point I'm trying to get at. When I worked at McDonald's, the hardships that I would follow through were not being able to talk to people, be confident within myself, stick up for myself. And over time at McDonald's, you develop some type of character within yourself to stick up for yourself and have a backbone. And that's what I liked about McDonald's, and I always recommend that as a first job to everybody because McDonald's gives you character and it gives you a backbone so that people can't step all over you over time. And that's if you take advantage of the situations for what they are instead of having your own back and evading the situation. I've always wanted to take the situation in for face value rather than letting somebody else take care of it. Because I knew if I take the situation for face value for what it is, it would give me some type of character. Um, Working late night jobs also give you that backbone of, okay, if I spend my money dumbly, I have to come back into work working late night shifts that I hate so much. And to me, with these late night shifts that pay really, really well, it teaches you that, okay, I have to use my money responsibly, and they're paying me well enough that I can pay all my bills and have enough money left over to do what I have to do, whether if that's investing or I blow it all on Louis Vuitton and Gucci. And that's really up to you. And I've done that mistake plenty of times where I had good jobs and I would blow my money on, let's say, camera equipment, or let's say I would blow my cash on car parts, or let's say I blow my cash on stuff that didn't even matter. Like a new thing that I'm getting into right now is colognes, and you start thinking about it, and you're like, what purpose does cologne bring into my life? Okay, I smell good. Okay, I dress nice. Okay, it brings a value because of the fact that I can dress nice and smell good and give a nice first impression, I guess. But once it starts becoming compulsive and you have thousands of outfits, thousands of shoes, you start compulsing, you start hoarding these stuff that make no sense. It's okay to have 1 or 2 nice outfits, but once you start going 100 different outfits, 100 different shoes, it's compulsive. Or even when you start buying the name brand stuff, even knowing that you can get the same thing online for $20. Um, you start living a pointless life. And that's what I'm saying. With hardships, they teach you, hey, if you do this risk in your life right now, if you take this risk, there's consequences for that risk, even for the good or for the worst. Good example I can give you is smoking. When I used to stress back in high school, hardships in my life would make me run away to smoking, make me run away to drinking, getting drunk every weekend, smoking weed every weekend. And it would mess me up mentally really bad. And you have to realize that these stuff push you back. And it can delay the goals of what you have later on. So as soon as I realized these things, that hardships are just natural in life, you should quit smoking, you should quit drinking, and you should push these addictions away that are holding you back, and it's just a cover up for your stress. And I think I said this in my last video. I'm struggling through addictions that I prefer not to say on camera. But these stuff will push you back for years and years and years. It can even mess up with relationships. It can mess up with friendships. And it can most definitely mess up family. Because you'll start being more tired. You'll start losing purpose in life. Depression, anxiety, anger. Start being petty with a lot of people. And that's what hardships in life do. They make you build character. The good side about these type of situations, like I told you can use these as building blocks. Or the downside of these, or you can use them as exit, some gateways to hell for smoking and drinking. And getting yourself into an addiction to eliminate that stress and anxiety. And you can either decide to take one of those two ways. But what good does it do if you go through the hardships of life and you take the bad things out of those and you make bad decisions out of them? You know what I'm trying to say? And it's not good. It's really not good. So over time, I started going to the gym. I started to quit smoking. I started to drink less. I started to push away people that didn't bring purpose into my life to build what I was trying to do. And I found purpose on these hardships because I realized that my poor decisions led to consequences. So that's when I started to pick up photography. I love photography. I'm still a newbie at it. But I realized that it brought purpose into my life. And this is what brought me joy. And that's when I found out about cars too. Working on cars brought me joy. And I only found these stuff out because of the fact that I took risk of hardships. When those hardships happen at work, I wouldn't let what hardships of work happen to me and bring it home. What I would do is I would let the hardships of work stay at work. And whatever I brought home was a new me. So after work, I would work on my photography work, or I would stay up late, take a couple photos, edit photos, and publish them on Instagram and make YouTube videos about these stuff, because I know that I'm not alone in this, but I know that my situations are more unique than everybody else's, if that makes any sense. Like, not everybody's going to experience specifically that time and date what I did, but they might experience something similar to it. And that's why I'm publishing this video, is because hardships teach you a lot, and you can use them for the good or for the worse of yourself. And just remember that, because at the end of the day, you're the one that matters the most. Not your friends, not your family, not even sometimes your relationship. You matter, because at the end of the day, you're going to be putting down on the table what everybody else is going to see from you. Not Tyler, not Jason, not Kyle. It's you. If you let Tyler, Jason, and Kyle determine who you are, you become more like them. And if they're a bad influence in your life, it'll fuck you up for years. Like I said, I picked up smoking from other friends in high school, and that pushed me back for a long time. Thankfully, I wasn't in the smoking for too long. I think I was smoking maybe for like 5 years. And 5 years, no, maybe like 5 or 7 years. And I decided to quit because I realized these were um, these were crutches in my life that could lead to something worse later on. And that's with any addiction. When you have hardships in your life, addictions can become worse and worse and worse. And if you're going through addictions with hardships, it's just you're just masking the problem. You're just masking the problem for days. So at the end of the day, when you go through hardships, just remember that these are experiences that can teach you something. And to always remember that you'll always have hardships in life no matter where you go. Um, you're going to have them on vacation. You're going to have them at your mom's house. You're going to have them at your girlfriend's house. You're going to have them everywhere. So when hardships happen, find good habits to get into. Don't go from having hardships in your life to picking up a smoke or picking up a bottle, drinking it all the way down to the bottom. And don't get into those addictions, because they can get you into spirals of suicidal thoughts and depression because you're relying on them to cover up a more steeper problem. I'll try to keep this video maybe around like 15 minutes long, because like I said, this is a vlog style video. When you go through hardships in your life, the best things you can do are going to the gym. When you go to the gym and when you're going through hardships, you're releasing that pressure that's within inside of you out to the atmosphere. Rather than hardships, you're taking it home and you're complaining about them. You're bragging about them with your friends, and your friends are annoyed by it, because deep down inside, they might not tell you that they're annoyed by it, but they will be annoyed by it over time. And if you're dating somebody, your partner will be annoyed by it also. So just take it to the gym. Go rage it out at the gym. Go put on your earbuds. Go do a couple heavy sets. And go on the treadmill and run it out and sprint. Very good for your health and heart. Second thing, when you're going through hardships in your life, it's because of the fact that you don't like being around it. And what I realized with hardships in life is that if you're just going through hard stuff because of the fact that you need the money, that's fine, but don't let that consume you for the rest of your life. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm working at a factory job where I have my own hardships at my factory job, but I'm realizing more and more now is people tell you, what's the purpose of you being there? Are you trying to save more money? Are you trying to pay off debt? Are you trying to use that money towards something else? And I can tell you right now, I'm using that money towards investments so I can retire early. And I'm using that money to help others as much as I can. Might not happen all the time, but it happens sometimes. And I might use this job also for the amount of days off that I have. I can use this job for helping others when they don't have the time, or friends to help them. I want to be there to help. So having this time off and work and life balance, even though I work a lot of hours, the work and life balance is perfect, so I can help others, including my family. Hardships. A bad thing about hardships too is that if you're not doing what you love, I think that's what I was trying to get at, is if you're not doing what you love, your hardship isn't going to be effective. It's not going to teach you any lesson. If anything, you might become more petty and more anxious and more angry. And I think that's just a part of life. Like, life just gives us, okay, you have to be at this situation at this time. You may not like it, but you have to be here for a bit just to get closer to your goals. And that's fine. That's why I believe hardships exist. It's just to teach us lessons. Hardships, good habits to get into is eating healthy. Purposely, I eat fish. I eat as much chicken as possible because chicken has protein, and protein is good for the brain. Ashwagandha calms you down. Sea moss has all the vitamins you can need, just like eggs, to add into your diet. So why not sea moss? And then ashwagandha, like I said, stress reliever. If you're trying to quit smoking, the secret is ashwagandha. Try it. Hardships in life. If you don't take care of them early, if you don't take care of your hardships in life early and learn something from them, they will attack you later on. And that's happened to me a lot of times. I can tell you when I worked at one job, my hardship went to another job and it went to another job and it followed through all the way through up until I took care of it. And I believe personally God made me go through that and said, okay, you're going through this hardship, but I'm going to make it follow through with you up until you can make a stand up for yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you're going through hardships in your life, it's because most probably you got yourself in that situation or somebody else is putting you under that situation. And the other person could be pressuring you with that hardship. And you have to stand up for yourself in that situation if you're in it. You might not realize you're in it, but your gut feeling will tell you that you're in it. Hardships in life can also teach you that there's more purpose to your life than just going through that hardship. What do I mean by that? Your hardship right now could be working at that factory job for 12 hours just to get out of debt. But after you get out of debt and you start paying a lot of stuff off, you will start realizing that you start becoming more greedy. So what do I mean by that? More greedy meaning you'll start spending more money on crazy things that don't matter. Like I said, the Louis Vuitton, the Gucci stuff. And you start overspending and you don't follow through with your budget after all these things are paid off. And you start paying for stuff, let's say OnlyFans, that purposely don't have any sense of subscribing to. You're just dropping your money right out the window. You should be using this money to pursue your goal forward. Because that hardship that you're going through with the job that you hate that sucks, you could be using that money to starting your own business. And it can be something as simple as, okay, tomorrow I'm going to go buy a camera. I'm going to go buy a camera tomorrow. I'm going to buy a pack of lens for $500. And then I'm going to create business cards on Canvas because it's free. I'm going to print them out. I'm going to give them to people that need it. I'm going to put them in stores the old-fashioned way. And somebody's going to pick up a card, ask me for an appointment, book that appointment for $100. And boom, you're probably making your salary already after booking that $100 appointment for that day. It's using that hardship that's making you a lot of money to start something fresh and start something new. Like I told you, I realized that cologne starts bringing less purpose in my life, but it sort of is because, like I said, it's helping me dress up, look more presentable. As of right now, I'm just slacking because of the fact I'm going to work in maybe about like 3 hours. Use that money towards getting a camera. Use that money on coming on YouTube, getting a better phone so your camera quality is fantastic and people can hear you. Using that money towards better software, getting a gaming computer, because we all both know that gaming computers provide two things. When you want to unwind, you can just play video games. And when you feel concentrated on editing photos, you can just download Photoshop. Learn Photoshop for the next month. Go on Canva or go look up a couple YouTube videos on how to do a couple things. And YouTube will teach you a lot of things. Knowledge is super important when you're going through hardships also. Learn. That's super important. Learning is super important after hardships. And before hardships too, so you can prepare yourself. So this video is getting a little bit lengthy. I'll leave you guys with a bonus. When it comes to hardships, meditate daily. When you're stressed after a long day of work, the best thing I love to do is after my shift is finished, I go in my car, I put the key in, the key there, I close my eyes, and I say, thank you, God, for another day. Always thank God that day is going to be a blessing and that you're not missing any legs, that you're not homeless. Be thankful for that day of work. Because at the end of the day, I believe personally God gave us that high-paying job and He will bless us immensely if we're extremely humble with what we have instead of bragging about it. God loves a humble person. So a keynote for myself too is that if you remain humble, if you stay as humble as possible, and you prevent bragging about how much your job pays you, there's going to be sometimes it might slip where you might be like, yeah, my job pays me $25 an hour. It's a good job. And it might slip, but not everybody wants to know how much you get paid. They just want to know what you're doing, and that's it. And they want to know who you are personally. So when you're going through this hardship in your life or grinding, remember to yourself that not everybody cares about that grind. They care about your health. So they just want to make sure that you're okay. So like I said, meditate. Take a breath after every single shift that you have that's super tough. Or even during your shift too. Just take a couple breaths and it'll relieve stress for the long run. I love you guys. Peace out. This is vlog number 11, and this is going to be hardships.